Hey, welcome back. So we've got a transfer offer for Rob Kennan, and I decided to accept this offer because, yeah, I know in the last episode I used him, in the last game I used him, and he has grown just one, but I decided to get rid of him because, I've got lots of defensive cover. Josh Meekings, obviously, who's pretty much the same type of player, and, so that was a bit sad to see him go, but we have got a game now against Bolton, you can just see there, and we are going to get involved with the transfer window, so we're going to be signing 3 players, or 4 I think. But that was Saido Berahino. You'll see a bit more of him later in this episode. But now the Bolton game. So we had lots of chances. The shot from Lualua was well wide, but it was Baldy. I think that's how you say his name. He plays for Celtic. He's a big, tall striker, and he manages to score a cracker. I think he's on loan in the Portuguese league somewhere. But after that, we had lots of good chances. So you can see Nick Powell here. He's trying to, assert himself in the middle of the park. The shot was just wide to the right, and now Bakuna is trying to start up a new attack. He's going to cut back, and he's going to work his way inside the box, over to Powell. Powell switches, shot, and then the follow-on from Makinok was well wide, but Makinok actually gets himself in another bit of space. The shot, again, just to the right. So we had lots of good chances. Another chance from Gonzalez. He's done that all season, hasn't he? The good headers. And we lost that game 1-0, so that's not a good result, is it? Now onto the Norwich game. We simmed this game and we lost 1-0. So you can see a goal from Redmond, and that was it. So we've lost 2 games in a row, so that's not a good start to this episode, but we did get an accepted offer for Berahino, and before we knew it, he was in the team. He signed for 60k. That's not his wage, that's his transfer fee, 60k. So that's obviously my best signing. My second best signing was Duncan, who you can see on the left of the midfield there. He was, I think, 600k or something ridiculous. And obviously a great signing, probably my best value signing, because he is 67. This is Berahino, by the way. And I bought him because we need another striker who I think will be able to finish off all the chances that we are getting, and we're not finishing. But and I wasn't really sure with players like Riera and Park Ji-young. They're about 29 years old each, or both of them. And I wasn't really sure if they were going to leave the club because obviously they were a bit unhappy with all the chances that they weren't getting, because Makinok was playing all the games, and obviously McLean, who's a left mid. So we've got lots of cover now in all of the positions except for midfield. I think we need a couple more midfielders, which you will find out in this episode. But now we have a game against Middlesbrough, and you just got a glimpse of Saido Berahino's face. He's got a game face, but Bakuna off to McManaman. Now what's McManaman going to do? He's going to cut inside. He's going to take a shot, and on the end of it is Lualua. So Lualua and Berahino are kind of the same type of player. I think Berahino is just a bit heavier with the weight, but they're pretty much in the same mould. And good goal from Omar Gonzalez. You saw in the last game against Bolton, he had a good chance, didn't he, from that corner, and now he scored one. So, it was just going to happen. We do get lots of chances in my games, and from time to time we'll score, so that's all good. 1 or 2 goals a game is awesome. But right at the end of the game, Tavernier from the free kick, and when we score, a good long shot from him. Tavernier, great player. I first used him, he was 65 overall, 23 years old, and I was thinking, this guy's not going to grow, but now he's 67, and he just saw that free kick, so Bakuna just passed it off to him, and then the long shot. Awesome stuff. The keeper didn't expect it because it was 90 minutes. It was a 90-minute goal, and he just did the awesome top left corner. And this is the other players in our shortlist. So Wilson Palacios and Daniel Johnson and Pedro Azog, who was a free agent, Pedro Azog. But you just see we're trying to bid for all these players, and I almost got his value wrong. I almost gave him 2 million, but no, I'm going to give him 200k. So you can see what we're doing here. We're trying to get some really cheap signings, and I really like the idea of bringing Palacios, or more of the ex-players, back into the club. And now a game against Birmingham, and we did have a lot of chances, and I enjoyed playing in the snow. We're using the green ball, so you can see McManaman's going to pass it back to Espinosa, back to McManaman. He's going to push it in front, and Perch, who's been playing like Glenn Johnson and Andre Wisdom, just getting forward, and then that layoff. So Berahino will just finish it off, and that's why I bought him. I wanted someone that could score lots of goals, and he scored in his first game of his career at Wigan, and he's got a game face. A lot of these players are going to have game faces now. It's just something that's happened. Players like Tavernier, Perch, Bakuna, Berahino, Gonzalez, Rajkovic, and I think there are a couple more that all have game faces, so that's obviously a cool thing. Palacios has a game face as well, but we have to bump his fee up a bit because they came back with a declined. Likewise for Daniel Johnson, who, both of these players have game face as well. It's not a big deal, but I just think it's cool because it personalises the career mode a bit, and it makes it more fun to watch these players on the field. But yeah, the wages, that's ridiculous, isn't it? Look, 5,000 and 15,000 for good quality players. A draw against Bournemouth, and before we knew it, we signed a couple of these players. We sold Sean Maloney to Newcastle, so I thought that was a good idea because I wasn't really going to use him. 2.7 million, I think, 2.1. That's fine. Add to my transfer budget, I guess. And we did sign Daniel Johnson for 250k. 22 years old. You see them in the team now. He's 22 years old, 62, and it's the same deal with what's his name, Goburn, who was a 63 when I bought him, 23 years old, but now he's 65, Goburn is. So it's going to be the same thing with Daniel Johnson, and with Wilson Palacios, 69 overall. He didn't get a big chance at Stoke, unfortunately, so now it's good to bring him back to Wigan, see how well he can do. You know, obviously I'm going to be using him because I do like him and his position, you know, centre defensive mid. He can play everything, and that's great. So we're also going to go in for Pedro Azog, and I have used him in other career modes. He's been a free agent for every game I can remember, and 5,000 a week, that's fine with me, so we'll sign him up as well. So that brings us to the end of this Wigan roundup. We've covered a lot of ground, all in 6 minutes, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye!